When a patient is in the ICU, chest X-rays are practically a second language. But buried in those grayscale images are dozens of catheters and tubes, endotracheal tubes, central lines, nasogastric tubes, each one a potential lifeline or a ticking time bomb if misplaced. Reading these films is slow, notoriously error-prone, and when 3 lines overlap, it's basically a visual puzzle. Current deep learning models try to solve this by either classifying the whole image or segmenting every tube into a single blob. Both approaches fail when devices cross paths. What if we could treat each catheter like a jigsaw puzzle? What if we detect local fragments, stitch them together using graph theory, and output not just a placement label, but a calibrated confidence score for exactly where the tip is? That's exactly what UCompCXR does. Let's break down why the standard approaches hit a wall. Global classification models can tell you there's an abnormal central line, but they can't point to which of the 3 overlapping CVCs is the problem. On the flip side, segmentation models trace the tubes, but they lump everything into one mask. Overlap. Gone. You lose instance-level tracking entirely. What clinicians actually need is a compositional representation. A variable number of devices, each with a traced path, a tip location with spatial uncertainty, and a placement label. UCompCXR tackles this with a bottom-up, detect-associate-fuse classify pipeline, borrowing heavily from multi-person pose estimation and line segment detection, but adapted for the unique geometry of medical tubing. The architecture starts with a lightweight Mobile Net V3 small backbone paired with a compact feature pyramid network, keeping the total parameter count around 2.27 million. But instead of predicting a full mask or a single heat map, the model predicts local catheter fragments at the feature map resolution. At every spatial location, it jointly outputs a fragment heat map confidence, a subpixel offset for grid refinement, endpoint geometry, a tangent direction vector, and a discriminative associative embedding. That embedding is trained to pull fragments from the same physical device together, while pushing fragments from different devices apart. Crucially, it also predicts a tip mean and a tip log variance. That variance isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a heteroscedastic uncertainty estimate. Unlike models that predict a single confidence score, heteroscedastic regression learns input-dependent noise, meaning the model explicitly quantifies how much to trust its own prediction at that specific location. Once you have a cloud of fragments, you need to group them into actual devices. UCompCXR builds an association graph, where each fragment is a node. It scores edges between nearby fragments using a 2-layer MLP that concatenates their discriminative embeddings with geometric cues like relative position, tangent alignment, and tip prediction consistency. Then comes the clustering. It uses a constrained union-find algorithm, but with 3 hard constraints. First, a minimum edge score threshold. Second, a maximum degree of 2, which enforces the physical reality that catheters are linear and don't branch. And third, and this is where the uncertainty actually does work, a Mahalanobis distance constraint. Before merging 2 fragments, the model checks if their tip predictions agree within their predicted covariance ellipses. The Mahalanobis distance accounts for both the scale and correlation of the uncertainty, so if the statistical distance is too high, they don't merge. This prevents the model from accidentally stitching together fragments from different lines, just because they look similar locally. After clustering, each device instance has multiple fragment-level tip predictions. UCompCXR fuses these using iteratively reweighted least squares with a Huber kernel. Fragments with lower predicted variance get higher precision weights, so confident fragments near the actual tip naturally dominate the final estimate. The Huber kernel automatically downweights outlier fragments that diverge from the emerging consensus, making the fusion robust against occasional misassociations. The fused covariance is then computed as the inverse sum of the weighted precision matrices, giving you a single, well-calibrated uncertainty ellipse per device. For training, the model handles a mixed supervision regime. Only about 30% of the dataset has pixel-level device traces. For the rest, it uses a noisy OR formulation. Essentially, if any detected device of a certain family triggers an abnormal placement, the image-level label is marked positive. This probabilistic OR gate bridges the gap between weak image-level labels and strong per-device supervision, allowing end-to-end training on the full dataset without manual tracing. So how does it perform? On the RANZCR-CLEP dataset, UCompCXR detects 26% more device instances than a strong multitask baseline sharing the same backbone, while cutting false positives by 75%. The association quality, measured by B-cubed F1, sits at 0.775. And the uncertainty calibration is tight, hitting a 95% coverage of 0.948. Now here's where it gets interesting. The aggregate tip error actually goes up. But before you write this off as a regression, look closer. The baseline completely misses hundreds of nasogastric tubes. UCompCXR finds them. Those newly detected tubes are long, thin, and frequently obscured, so their localization error is naturally higher. When you fold them into the aggregate metric, it inflates the average. But when you look only at matched devices, the story flips. The compositional model dramatically reduces catastrophic localization failures. The median error is slightly higher, but the 95th percentile drops significantly. In clinical terms, fewer extreme outliers means fewer missed malpositions. It's a detection success masquerading as a localization penalty. This compositional design changes what the model can actually communicate. Instead of a vague something CVC-related is abnormal, the system outputs the left subclavian line is borderline. The calibrated uncertainty ellipses expand exactly where the model struggles, partially occluded tips, for shortened devices, giving radiologists a transparent signal of when to double-check. And at 2.27 million parameters running in a single forward pass, this isn't a research prototype. It's deployable on edge hardware in resource-constrained settings. But there's a methodological takeaway here that extends beyond catheter detection. Reporting aggregate tip error without stratifying by device family or conditioning on match detections actively penalizes models for finding harder cases. Future benchmarks need to separate localization precision from detection coverage. Otherwise, we're just rewarding models that play it safe and miss the most clinically relevant anomalies. UCompCXR shows that treating medical device assessment as a compositional, uncertainty-aware problem unlocks instance-level tracking, calibrated confidence, and real-world deployability. The path forward is clear. Improve fragment-level tip prediction for difficult devices like nasogastric tubes, validate across multi-institutional datasets, and push evaluation metrics toward detection-conditioned, family-stratified reporting. If you're working in medical AI, this is a reminder that sometimes the best way to solve a segmentation problem is to stop segmenting and start assembling. Thanks for watching. If you want to dive into the architecture details or the training curriculum, I've linked the paper and code in the description. Keep pushing the boundaries of what AI can safely do in clinical settings.